Good day everyone, K from K Media. Today I want to walk through three developments that are quietly reshaping the balance of power between the United States, Europe and China, and even the financial markets. Let's start with Europe. From The Economist. At the Munich Security Conference, Germany's Chancellor made a very bold statement. He said the role-based international order is loosening and even the United States cannot handle everything alone. That sounds dramatic, but this is not Europe turning against America, and it's not Europe leaving NATO. What Europe is really saying is this: hey, we still want the aliens, but we cannot outsource our security forever, and we understand it. Honestly, for decades, Europe relies heavily on the United States for nuclear deterrence, strategic guarantees, and military capacity. While this arrangement worked when the US was fully committed to being the primary security anchor. But now, there's uncertainty. Russia's war in Ukraine continues, and at the same time, there's concern that the United States may shift more attention towards Asia and domestic priorities. So Europe is adjusting. Well, it has to. Not separating, but rebalancing. Well, that means higher defense spending, more investment in military industry, and more internal capacity. If that actually happens, and we will know by watching the budgets, not the speeches, then the power structure inside NATO will gradually change. Now, this matters beyond Europe. For China, this reduces room for strategic maneuvering. In the past, Beijing could hope that, if Europe left abandoned by Washington, it might drift closer to China. But Europe's current position is different. It's saying we're not cutting ties with the United States, we're just becoming less dependent. That's a much harder dynamic to exploit. There's a risk, though, if economic growth does not support all this defense expansion, Europe could lean towards protectionism or industrial nationalism. So the real signal isn't rhetoric, it's budget allocation. Now let's move on to technology. Two separate events happened almost at the same time. The European Union formally asked the WTO to set up a panel over dispute with China regarding standard essential patent licensing fees. The EU argued that the Chinese courts are setting global licensing rates too low, which hurts European high-tech companies. While at first glance that sounds technical and boring, but it's not. It's about who controls pricing power in the future in global technology. If one country's courts influence global licensing benchmarks, then profit shifts from the intellectual property holders to manufacturers. That's not a minor legal issue, that's a redistribution of value across the supply chain. At the same time, OpenAI submitted a memo to the United States Congress alleging that the Chinese AI company DeepSeek bypassed the safeguards and extract ChatGPT's output at scale and use them to train their own model. While OpenAI even used the phrase free ride. Now, whether those allegations are fully accurate or not, the underlying issue is clear. It's about boundaries. If you're using API normally fine, you pay the fee, but if someone systematically circumvents safeguards and mass extracts output to bootstrap their own model, that's no longer efficiency or innovation. That's a property rights problem. And if you zoom out, both the stories are actually about the same thing. Who controls the economic value of technology? Europe is trying to protect patent revenue, and the US is trying to protect model capacity boundaries. AI and intellectual property are no longer just business issues, they are becoming national competitions issues. Now let's move on to the third development, finance. Elon Musk Grok 4.2 model reportedly outperformed strongly in the benchmark where AI systems were given virtual capital and allowed to trade for 2 weeks. The headline number was around a 12% return, with some scenarios showing even higher peaks. But honestly, the exact percentage isn't the main story. The true story is this: market trading behavior is becoming model driven. If AI system can dynamically adjust positions across multiple variables, volatility, sentiment, technical indicators, and remain profitable, that means trading skill is becoming systemized. Now imagine scale. If many AI models operate simultaneously using similar signals and architectures, they may start making similar decisions at the same time, and that could compress arbitrage opportunities. It could synchronize trades. It could amplify volatility. And here's something even more interesting. Most of the historical data of this model are trained or on was not heavily influenced by AI agents. But once AI systems become dominant participants, the data itself changed, and the market became partially shaped by model reacting to other models. Co-regulation focuses mostly on high-frequency algorithmic trading. It does not fully address adaptive self-learning AI agent allocating capital at scale. If AI systems begin to meaningfully influence capital flows, market microstructure could shift in ways we do not fully understand yet. So, across the three areas, European security, technology, pricing power, and AI in financial market, we're seeing the same theme: rebalancing of power, not dramatic collapse, but sudden conflict, but gradual structural shift, and those are usually the ones that matter most. K from K Media. Thanks for watching.